Well, hello, Cliff.
Well, hello there, Justin.
How are you?
I'm quite fine. How are you today?
We don't have a brick wall behind us, and we don't have a Shire.
We don't have
the last couple weeks we've been in the Shire.
Round green door. Actually, you had used the round yellow door of Sam's Hobbit hole.
Yes.
Instead of bag end, we were looking at number 3.
Wait,
bag shot row. Once upon a time, maybe last week, when you guys were watching our live show, you noticed that yellow Hobbit hole was behind us. That shiny, painted yellow door.
That's Sam's hole?
It is the last shot of The Lord of the Rings. In all editions, whether it's regular or extended edition, the very last shot of the Lord of the Rings trilogy is a soft fade to black on Samwise's door after he and his family go back inside. Remember?
Got it.
That's it. Fade to black. End credits. Everyone, yay! Directed by Peter Jackson. That's that. You remember that.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Torn Tuesday, your weekly show of all things Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Tolkien, books, movies, toys, collectibles. I'm Justin.
And I'm Clifford. Welcome aboard once again as we take you down a journey to the mischievous. This guy is creating so much mischief today. I can't keep a straight face. Hello, everybody in the chat room. Hello, everybody live on the air. This is Torn Tuesday, our cute little acronym for the OneRing.net, the world's largest and most comprehensive and most excellent, may I add, most excellent Tolkien web community in all the whole wide world. Lovely to have you guys back with us on the show. Hello, Ellen Design. Hello, Ellen Marfles, Smaug the Dragon.
And we're looking at the chat room
Spirited
over
Book.
there.
We have a huge chat room screen. It's fantastic. Instead of me looking at a little blip, 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 blip on my phone or on my tablet, I've got this huge widescreen LG. Would you get that at a Black Friday sale? Where'd you get that?
I don't know. We just had
it. It's lovely. I can see the chat room, and I can see everybody's here with us.
Yes.
We're going to talk about all things Hobbit ephemera. Especially interesting, I have had my first opportunity to sit down and watch the extended edition of Battle of the Five Armies, which I had not seen yet. You know what I did? I sat down and watched it with William Kircher, who was my guest last week.
Name dropper.
What's that you just dropped? Oh, it's a name. It was really wonderful and kind of cool to sit there with Biffer himself and actually watch the movie. He had not seen the extended version either. So he had no idea all the added scenes put back in that featured his character. Hilarious. Great stuff. Really interesting. We're also going to talk about how stupid, I think it's my opinion.
Stupid?
It's spelled S-T-O-O-P-I-D. That's how stupid it is. The fact that The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, got an R rating is needless. Totally needless. We'll talk a little bit about the uselessness of the MPAA when we get around to it. Justin, your first impressions.
My first impressions of our new set. People are in the chat room commenting that they saw us on the little wide view of the store. Like, there's Cliff walking around, there's Justin walking around. They're wasting our time. We're sitting here in the chat room, and they're just walking around.
They were seeing the other shots of me going back there. I had to go and get myself a little bit of tea, a little cup of tea in my Kylo Ren mug. This is yours, actually, the one I gave you as a gift.
Yes.
And I'm the one drinking out of it now. Welcome, everybody. Lovely to have you on the show. I found some interesting websites that parse through every detail of the Battle of the Five Armies extended edition.
That's Bruce.
Where's Bruce?
That shark. That big shark is Bruce from Jaws. You have to be a Jaws geek to know what we're talking about.
The big shark.
And I'm glad. I'm glad people in the chat room know what we're talking about.
Every day I walk in here, I fight the urge to say, "You're gonna need a bigger boat."
I'm pretty good at predictions. Marfles7 in the chat room says Justin's pretty good at predictions. He better come up with something good about PJ's video. We have to talk about the video first. This is the biggest news on the internet.
Oh, you did predict that. You did predict this, didn't you?
What a huge troll Peter Jackson is. If you haven't seen it, if you're just joining us, go to our Facebook page, the One Ring Net.
Please do.
What Peter says is more important than what we're saying. But Peter Jackson, last night or the night before last, just posted a video. It's him and his daughter sitting at the kitchen table, and they joke about Stephen Moffat trying to get a hold of Peter, and then the doctor walks in behind them in character. Who's the new doctor?
the new doctor. He has an Italian last name, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I know him, but I suddenly forgot. I knew it. I guess I'll look it up now. New Doctor Who, and his name is.
You look that up. I'll be right back.
And his name is. There's lots of pictures of him. Capaldi. Yeah, his name is Peter Capaldi. Even though he's a Brit, he has a distinctly Italian last name. Yes, we're doing this live, by the way, unscripted, kind of crazy. Anything can happen. I don't know what I'm going to say next, but I will know it when I say it. Just that you know. I'm telling my friends online that we're doing the Torn show first. Doing the Torn show first. Okay. Well, happy WAD a day for, hey, other messages are coming. The hotline is blowing up. You guys know that we have a hotline, and I encourage you guys to use it. It is, perhaps it's there on the monitor, but our hotline is 530-64-FRODO. You can call on that hotline. You can be part of the show. We can turn on Skype. It'd be really, really cool. And you know what? I'm going to take a second to pull up Peter Jackson's Facebook page. So I can see for a quick second what exactly we're talking about. Because, I already know what we're talking about, but Peter Jackson is certainly causing a big ruckus with Whovian fans. I'm a Whovian fan, I'm a Peter Jackson fan, so this seems like a perfect blending that Peter Jackson's going to do an episode of Doctor Who. And Justin has correctly predicted that Peter's involvement in that episode is going to be, look at him polishing his Oscars. Funny. He's sitting there polishing his Oscars at the table.
I know,
the
video, he's totally trolling. He's polishing his Oscars. Peter Capaldi walks in. Could this be the first, oh, you know what? The thing that's most annoying is that right there in the middle of the book, marked with all those little pink Post-its, is a hardcover copy of the Silmarillion. Peter Jackson is marking the Silmarillion.
That's a joke. That's hilarious. He's marking the Silmarillion.
For production.
Yes.
Is there any way Peter Jackson can get the Silmarillion? Is there any way in this world? Do you think he could actually land the rights if he went to Tolkien Estate and said, "I have a plan. Here's the plan"?
No, this is a joke. That's all it is. I don't think Peter's interested in going back to Middle Earth. Not for a very, very long time. Look, I talked to Peter and Philippa at the premiere of Battle of the Five Armies.
That's right.
When they were here in LA.
Yes.
They're going to give Middle Earth a rest. If somebody else wants to take up their hand in it, maybe Peter could get a sideline producing or giving some executive creative input on the side. But no, this is just a nice visual joke. And it's funny. It's really funny that, that he did it like this. But Peter Capaldi walking into the room. Do you know what would be really a blast for me is if Peter Jackson manages to do this Doctor Who episode in some way that incorporates the previous Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. That's what I would love to see. Wouldn't you?
But didn't they just do a Doctor Who special where 3 different doctors were all in it at the same time?
Yes, I think they did. Yeah, but I think I missed it.
You missed it.
I did miss that. Here we go. Look. That's so
I tell
funny.
this guy to watch the video 2 days ago, and he's just watching it now.
I'm just watching it now. I hadn't even seen it.
So here's the reaction video. Here's the official reaction video to Cliff Broadway watching Peter's new video.
And some are a bit different. Like a scripts, there's great ones and there's ones that are not great. The piece of he's...
I'm actually watching...
Doctor Who at 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, do Sherlock, bang down an email to Peter Jackson, between,
So funny.
Well, he says he thinks that your plan is that they all come here to New Zealand and he spent 6 months making an episode but he wants you to go to Cardiff and make it
So funny.
12 days.
well,
Oh, look, there's Peter Capaldi coming in the back of the room.
4 months, 5 months, that's just something to talk about, isn't it? But the whole idea of, you've seen this the stress and the name of his wife and kids is health reasons.
I'm looking for a director.
Hello, director Yeah, by what name? Sorry. Possibly. What?
Peter Jackson.
Sir Peter? Is it Sir Peter? Sir Peter lives here.
Sir Peter. That's hilarious.
Possibly. Who's it from?
It's from Stephen Moffat.
All right, and who are you exactly? Sorry, are you? Is this FedEx? Are you FedEx or UPS?
I'm the doctor.
Who?
Correct. He said you have to sign that. Take it back.
I'm the doctor. Who?
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Thank you. Listen, Katie, if he gets dangerous, and I know he is, Doctor Who fans will want to understand. Doctor Who fans, if he gets violent, you just race next door and come on.
Oh my God.
What about you?
Doctor Who fans compared to Tolkien fans. That's funny.
Yeah, okay, all right, mate, all right, hang on, all right, we're all good here, don't worry about us. We're all good, yeah, no, it's all right, hey, thank you.
Sign it, please.
What is it?
Here's the BBC.
My glasses. Got my glasses. Cross fine print.
Too funny. Too funny. And a Dalek chases him right out of the room. Are you kidding me? That's hilarious.
The Walking Dead.
I'm glad to see that Peter's actually having some fun. He's got such a great sense of humor. That's really hilarious.
Isn't it
That's
great?
really hilarious.
And he's just
That's
there.
funny.
Everything is there. Now,
That's funny.
you guys got.
Wait a minute.
What?
6.4 million views on this.
in a day and a half.
In a day and a half. 6.4 million views.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and a lot of my friends I can see are like just screaming Silmarillion with thumbs up.
So officially,
so funny.
officially Peter Jackson has nothing to do with Silmarillion yet, but we do know that the Tolkien estate is interested in keeping the Tolkien brand alive, and no one has ruled out further film stories in Middle Earth.
No, I've been proselytizing to the masses for the past year at all of our convention appearances that we are definitely going to expect Warner Brothers to make an announcement. I might be wrong about when that announcement is coming. I predicted there'd be a press release before the end of 2015. I might be wrong, but I expect that there's going to be more Middle-earth films with, Peter Jackson handing off the director's hat to someone else. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the fact
side films.
The fact is that Tolkien's estate is really interested. They love the fact that the Marvel and Star Wars legacies have continued on, and the Tolkien estate is willing to talk. Peter Jackson has expressed interest. He hasn't closed the door.
Who says the Tolkien estate is willing to talk?
We talked to them. We talked to them at several conventions this year. And
there's a difference, a marked difference, my dear fellow, between the Tolkien estate, which are the literary executors, and Tolkien Enterprises, who are the people we spoke to at the convention.
Explain.
Tolkien Enterprises is an American-based company that is, that functions out of Berkeley, California.
Okay.
It is the dearly departed Saul Zentz is the man who got the rights from Professor Tolkien to make The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and to release merchandise and movies and shows based on just those two books. And with those rights, he created Tolkien Enterprises in America. In England, or specifically in the south of France, Christopher Tolkien, who is one of Tolkien's 4 children, only 2 of them survive, Priscilla and Christopher, they're the ones who are the executors of Tolkien's other writings and other literary works that are not licensed to Tolkien Enterprises. So Tolkien Estate, Tolkien Enterprises, over here and over there.
That
Seriously,
makes sense.
Very, very, very important distinction.
There's interest on all levels. If you're just joining us, this is Torn Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday, talking about everything Hobbit. And if you're having troubles with our live page or on Ustream, go to YouTube, search out either the One Ring Net on YouTube or search for Meltdown Comics. It seems that people in the chat room are reporting that it's the better quality stream in YouTube. So go to YouTube, search for Meltdown Comics, or search for the One Ring Net on YouTube. and we're streaming there as well. You can watch on YouTube, but join the chat on Ustream or on our live page, theonering.net/live.
Of course.
That's where the chat room is, and that's where we're watching people join the chat. Now,
this chat that we're looking at is theonering.net/live, where we've always had a live event page for any of our live streams, correct?
Yeah.
We're always there.
So
Okay.
we're watching the Ustream chat. But so the first order of business, the Silmarillion, the trolling that Peter Jackson did on the Silmarillion, having it on his on his table
With a bunch of pink Post-its in it.
Oh no.
It's just feeding rumors, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
He knows what we want.
Yes, he does. He
And
knows.
He knows. But the second big rumor that this video totally started is that Peter Jackson is going to do an episode of Doctor Who.
And the requisite joke that immediately comes after that is Peter is going to take that one episode and extend it into a massive 3-hour movie and then make it a trilogy. And
Look at this.
It'll end up being 3
We have
movies.
a picture from
instead of one.
the archives
Ah, yes.
of Peter Jackson
Nice. That's
with some
gorgeous.
Daleks,
Daleks.
some Daleks. Look at that. That's Sylvester McCoy's question mark Kane.
That's actually, yeah, there's Sylvester McCoy's question mark Kane, and there's Tom Baker's scarf. And it's so great. And there's a TARDIS behind him. I'm so glad that Peter Jackson is a real fanboy. You guys, seriously, whether you have disagreements or your dislikes with the Hobbit trilogy, you know, we all love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Whatever your stance is on Peter Jackson as a filmmaker adapting Tolkien,
Yes.
we could have done a hell of a lot worse because Peter Jackson is a fanboy. If he wasn't a filmmaker, he'd be hanging around with us being like, oh, this is so cool at the comic book conventions.
Yeah.
He'd be the kind of guy you would see attending Comic-Con going, ooh, I love all this stuff, the toys, the collectibles, the Doctor Who stuff. He's a fanboy. So I think we got a pretty sweet deal with having a talented director also be as geeky as we are. Don't you think? Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
We're getting messages
What do you
on
mean
the
you don't know?
we're getting messages on the hotline.
We are getting messages on the hotline.
Information is scrolling across the top here.
Oh, I see it. That hotline.
53064 Frodo.
Watching the behind the scenes of Battle of the Five Armies, the appendices, and that really insightful bit about Billy Connolly. Well, Mr. Connolly confesses quite openly his dislike of Tolkien and his dislike of Tolkien fans in particular. Oh yeah, and he goes and he makes some great jokes. They show some bits of his stand-up comedy from decades ago, and Mr. Connolly, bless his heart, I still love him, and he makes a great Dane Ironfoot for sure. But he explains back in the '60s when I was doing the folk music and all the stuff that was happening, there was that other camp of Tolkien fans, and they always had that book tucked under their arm, and they always walking around talking about gobbledygook and blibbity blips and blibbity blops, and he makes fun of how much he felt completely disconnected to the Tolkien phenomenon when it became all the rage in the counterculture of the late '60s. And he's probably, I'm just saying, imagine you had gotten a director or somebody trying to do a Lord of the Rings adaptation who really wasn't as much of a fanboy as Peter Jackson was. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there who just aren't fans. And those are the people who you'd call like, hired guns. New Line Cinema could have hired anybody. And then anybody could have come up to just do an adaptation of Tolkien. I'm just saying, thank heavens we got a fanboy who did it. And 6 movies later, I think they did a smashingly good job.
Don't you think Peter Jackson is just playing with our feelings that book is on the table?
Yep, he's a joke.
Here's the interesting...
It's a funny joke, though.
No,
it's very funny to me.
No, you can't play around with our emotions like this.
That's why the joke is so good.
It's not a joke. You think this is a joke? You think this is a game? This is not a game. We want this. We need it. And... you can't joke about this.
Marfels in the chat room is saying that Mr. Jackson is playing with our feelings. So do you think that's like the heart of a good joke is to kind of twist the knife a little bit and be like wink, haha. It's not horrid. It's not harmful. It's not insulting to anybody.
Well, it is interesting.
But it's funny
to me. Talking about the video, Aravani in the chat room says, I'm just glad PJ finally doesn't look dead tired anymore. I was worried about him for a while.
Yes, Eravandi, that's a very adroit observation.
Could it be a Tolkien episode of Doctor Who?
What, with the little bits of Tolkien influence?
Could he meet Tolkien?
Oh, like Doctor Who going back in time to Oxford and actually meeting Professor Tolkien? Hey, now.
They did a Lion and Witch in the Wardrobe episode, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Thank you, Anonymous71951.
Whoa. The chat room is blowing my mind right now.
The chat room is...
They could
conceivably.
Tolkien episode.
They could. Conceivably, they could do anything. On Doctor Who, the writers could write anything. Maybe that's why Peter wants to come on board and do it.
Well, we just know. Show him that picture again. We know that Peter is a huge, huge fan. I mean, we've had this picture for a while. Like, he wanted Sylvester McCoy, the Fifth Doctor, I believe the Fifth Doctor, Sylvester McCoy,
yes.
with that question mark cane. He wanted that Doctor for Bilbo Baggins, and it was down to the wire of Sylvester McCoy or Ian Holm, and at the end of the day, they chose Ian Holm for Bilbo Baggins on the original Lord of the Rings. So that just goes to show you how deep Peter's passion for Doctor Who is. This is you bring it back. The fun part is that Peter Jackson is living everyone's dream. Not only does he get to, he's playing in all the playgrounds that he's ever wanted to. Remember when he did King Kong and we hosted KongIsKing.net?
Yep.
He was the ultimate King Kong fanboy. I mean,
yes,
huge. The movie that inspired Peter Jackson to become a filmmaker.
Yes, it did.
Was
hugely
King Kong. And then Universal says, now that you've done Lord of the Rings, you can do any movie, you can do anything you want in Hollywood. Name it. Every studio was like, Peter Jackson, whatever you want. And what does Peter Jackson say? King Kong.
Yeah.
So now that the Hobbit trilogy is done, every studio in the world, everybody is like, Peter Jackson, you've just completed The Hobbit. It made $3 billion. What do you want to do? You can do anything in the world. And what does Peter Jackson say?
Doctor Who.
Could he turn Doctor Who into a film series, or is Doctor Who meant to stay on television?
No, Doctor Who is, in my opinion, certainly Doctor Who is meant for the television format. And with the advances in digital effects and all the CGI, the things that are cheaper and easier to do with the science fiction effects, they can do so much more with the television series than they used to do way back in the 70s, that's for sure. It's kind of hard sometimes to go back and watch early Tom Baker Doctor Who because it's so cheesy, and you watch somebody's elbow bump into a set and you'll see the whole wall will start wobbling like an Ed Wood film. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because that's all they had. When the BBC made those shows, they didn't have much money.
Peter Jackson doing a Doctor Who movie or launching a trilogy of movies could be really, really interesting, don't you think?
It could be, but no, I don't think he's gonna
He's not gonna make it a movie.
Then again, look at what Sherlock has as a television format. Each Sherlock episode with our lovely Benedict and our lovely Martin together, it plays like a movie. I mean, you want to watch an excellent movie about the Hound of the Baskervilles? Watch that episode, quote unquote, of Sherlock. And it plays like a feature film. And it's the length of a feature film. So maybe his Doctor Who exercise might be a little bit more extended than we think. But that's the joke.
3-part, 9-hour miniseries event.
3-part, 9-hour miniseries event.
That's what I'm predicting. The first 3-part, 9-hour miniseries event for Doctor Who, directed by Peter Jackson. Such a huge fan.
You'd think with Justin's hat we'd get better reception.
Right?
Yeah, spirited book. That's great advice. Definitely go to YouTube.
Watch it on YouTube.
But at Meltdown Comics, right?
No, at the One Ring YouTube page.
The YouTube channel that we have for the One Ring Net, which is TH1, right?
Just search for the One Ring. Just search. You're just gonna search for it anyway. Just search for the One Ring and
Search
our
for the One
channel.
Ring and you'll find it.
And you know what we just uploaded last week is a new exclusive video. Warner Brothers gave us one of the videos from the Blu-ray extended edition. It's a little behind-the-scenes peek.
Yep.
That's free on YouTube. Go watch it. It's on our YouTube channel. And at the same time, you can be watching a higher quality stream of this. A Tolkien episode of Doctor Who would be amazing. Speaking of the Blu-ray,
It would be, yes.
you have some serious opinions on this extended edition Blu-ray, which is out in theaters.
I do.
And it's
Well, it was only in theaters for one night.
The Hobbit Blu-ray extended edition is on our Tolkien fan gift guide.
A great gift guide. I'm
which
glad
we
you mentioned that.
Which we posted on the onering.net.
Yes.
It's a must-have. Despite what he's about to say, it's a must-have movie.
Oh, I'm
need to
going to
get
say that it is a must-have movie. I'm not going to bash it. I'm not going to criticize
all right.
it.
Well,
I'm going to criticize the theatrical edition because I didn't
well you should.
I didn't even want that. I wanted the complete film with all the bits added, with great character moments that complete their story arcs, and I wanted Thorin's funeral, and certainly we got a little bit more of Beorn, but I could have enjoyed more. I would have enjoyed a little bit more Beorn.
Am I not supposed to
did get
say
some of him.
Daleks? How are you supposed to say Daleks? How do you
Daleks?
say Daleks? Is it Daleks? Daleks?
I've already told you,
Not
it's Daleks.
The guys at Meltdown just corrected
It's
me.
not Nevada. It's not Nevada. It's Nevada. No, it is. It actually is. It is like hat in Nevada. It's Nevada. You know how to pronounce Nevada, and now you know how to pronounce Dalek.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll just drink my War on Christmas cup.
Your War on Christmas cup. That's funny. I'm enjoying all the suppositions that we can make about Peter Jackson going to work with the BBC and doing Doctor Who. Maybe he'll do more than one episode. Maybe he'll actually do, a series, like, 2 or 3 episodes that form a bigger story arc. But I don't know. I mean, the idea that he's going to turn them into 3-hour extended versions of Doctor Who is hilarious. But speaking of extended versions, the Battle of the Five Armies extended version is something I just had the great pleasure of watching with our friend William Kircher.
Okay.
It is so cool, and there's nothing cooler than to actually watch a movie with a dwarf actor sitting there going, "Pause. We had that for real. That wasn't CGI. That was an actual real thing." And he would actually stop the film, and tell everyone little background stories about where they were that day on set and what the Weta design team had done to put little dwarven markers and geometry all over these massive props, massive physical props that you'd think were blue screen or green screen, but they weren't. They were real, tangible objects.
Yes.
And I liked so much more the Battle of the Five Armies. I really liked it so much more with the added material. And I know you did too.
I did. It's the movie we were meant to see.
It is the movie we were meant to see. I don't think it deserved an R rating, but I found a website here.
Why not?
Huh? Why? Because you've seen PG-13 movies that have more blood and more guts and more, gnarly battle stuff. Than it's to have that kind of sensitivity about, a battle ram getting squished by a troll. It's silly. It's really, really silly. The Hobbit didn't need an R rating, certainly not with the content that was there. Really. Let's go through some of the additional shots. There's some great websites that actually talk about every little detail and the difference in every shot that's in this extended, okay? We know that there's extra shots of Smaug looking at Bard,
Yes.
okay? 25 seconds worth of extra stuff of Bard being chased across the rooftops. Most interesting to me was seeing Gandalf violently interrogated by that horrible creature,
The original Bulk.
which was the original Balg design, and to see the ring of fire, Narya, to see it actually demist and appear on his hands. And I just think it's so cool that we get a crisscross edit from Gandalf's ring right to Galadriel's ring. like shot to shot, and both of those rings are right there at the center of the composition. To go from one elven ring to another elven ring, and to have Galadriel sneaking around Dol Guldur, walking in with all the wind flowing on her. I thought it was really cool. It's the extra Dol Guldur stuff, especially with Thrain.
Yeah.
You know, in Desolation of Smaug.
Yep.
All the extra stuff with Thorin's father and Gandalf. That's my favorite stuff of the extended editions. By far, it's my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
Because it really gives us, it gives us the feeling that Gandalf is friends with these dwarf lords, that there's a reason why he's getting involved with Thorin's family affairs. You know?
Totally.
Because he knows his father. Gandalf is the Grey Pilgrim, the Grey Wanderer, who is famous in Middle-earth for going around and around and traveling endlessly to different castles and different royal courts to meet and greet and hobnob with every king and queen and prince and lord of every region and every kingdom and getting involved in their business. He's notorious for totally getting involved in their business.
Yeah.
So getting all these additional Dol Guldur scenes that we got in both Desolation of Smaug and now in Battle of the Five Armies is just so delicious. It's so good.
Delicious.
It is. It's delicious. Several shots were added to the Galadriel, Elrond, Saruman fight scene. Did you know that? There's approximately 60 seconds of additional fight and battle scenes with the White Council against the Nine. Did you notice? I didn't notice that there were additional shots of that.
No, like
Really?
it felt the same length of time. I did.
It felt like it was the exact same length of time.
They did feel that they looked better. Mm-hmm. I thought that the Nine actually did look better.
Maybe they did some polishing on those effects.
I'm sure they had the extra time.
I also like the extra scenes when Bard looks around and he's like, "What? What?" And all these elves are here, and you get a much larger milieu. A more
Milieu.
You get a larger
Milieu.
You get a larger active stage to see all the armies of elves all appearing in Dale. That's cool, and it's effective to think that there's a real force to be reckoned with that has just shown up at the doorstep of the Lonely Mountain to claim what they think is theirs. More elves, the better, for sure. Now, even more stuff. There's a nice conversation between James Nesbitt, who plays Bofur, and Bilbo when Bilbo's trying to sneak away. You had talked about this because you had gone to the theater to see it.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Isn't that cool to think that, that Bofur was just like, I'm going to turn my back. I'm just going to look away the other way. You go ahead and do what you need to do, Bilbo, when he knows that Bilbo's sneaking away in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And like the second time, and it echoes the little conversation they had in An Unexpected Journey, where Bilbo was again trying to sneak away and do something in the middle of the night. But in this case,
Bofur had the most extra scenes in the extended edition.
Bofur had the most extra scenes?
You know what we did?
I don't know. I think the Ice Chariot got the most extra scenes in the movie.
Well, that's an inanimate object that happens to move.
That's the joke.
You know you know what we haven't done in a while?
What's that?
Is that we haven't done an Everything Right episode with the Battle of Five Armies. Remember the last couple of movies we did Everything Right? I think one of these upcoming weeks we should do a full episode of Everything Right with the extended edition Battle of Five Armies.
I'd be glad to.
There's so many things to go about it. You know, this month is pretty intense because it's December 1st today, which means there's only 3 short weeks until Christmas.
Yes.
There's
3 short weeks.
So
can't believe it.
Much stuff to buy. For myself, from Weta Workshop,
For myself.
from Sideshow Collectibles, from jewelry, from everything. There's just, a lot. I'm not ready.
Well,
are you ready?
I'm ready. If you, I'm talking to my friend here, Omar, who's working with us behind the scenes, and he's like, I haven't even seen any of the extended editions of The Hobbit yet, and it dawned on me.
That's going to be the number one gift this
Number
Christmas.
one gift is actually the 3-movie edition with all of the extended Blu-rays of The Hobbit and the 3D Blu-rays in a 15-disc set of Blu-rays.
Woo.
All extended of all Hobbits, 15 discs, all the appendices. Chew on that, Charlie. It's going to be great. Wouldn't that be the perfect gift for you, Omar? That's what you need to put on your Santa's gift list. Brilliant. I like having a complete boxed set of all movies together. Like when the Lord of the Rings put out a complete boxed set of all extended editions of LOTR. And now they've got one for The Hobbit. But you know what's exciting for me? It has regular Blu-ray, and it has Blu-ray 3D.
I'm missing the insert.
No, it's in there. It's in there somewhere. I'm sure it's floating around. It's got to be there somewhere. You know what's cool? When I upgrade my home theater system and go from regular high-def screen to doing an actual 3D system, I'll have that on my shelf if I had that boxed set. I'm loving it. That's a really good gift. But I'm sure it's expensive. Well, it might be, the Star Wars saga is at the price point of $90.
Does the Hobbit
all
Blu-ray
6 films together?
Does the Hobbit Blu-ray have original artwork like on this?
Nope. The Hobbit Blu-rays do not have original. Those are Alan Lee. Those are Alan Lee's artwork.
This is Alan Lee's artwork.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
On the DVD case itself.
Now, here's the part where we talk about the R rating on this new edition. Okay? By the time you add more battle scenes and you add a little bit of black blood, orcs have black blood, all of a sudden you get an R rating. Now, wind back the clock to an unexpected journey. It's okay for Gandalf to chop the head off of a goblin and make a comedy bit by the goblin going, and he looks to the left and looks to the right, and Gandalf takes his staff and goes, thunk, and the head rolls off without any blood at all. So you're going to tell me if there was little added CGI, spurts of blood, that would have gone from PG-13 to an R?
Yeah.
Just to tell families what is acceptable or what is not acceptable for a level of violence in an action fantasy film? Come on. If that's the only difference, bodily fluids, and you're still decapitating and chopping people up, and they're just goblins and orcs, whatever, it just seems so useless to me that the MPAA just arbitrarily said some violence. You know what? They give no other reasoning. There's a lot of other websites out there that will give you thorough reasons about what's good to show your family and what's safe to show your kids at a certain age range. But every parent obviously has to decide for themselves what's appropriate for their own children to watch.
Yeah.
But I don't see any real visceral difference, in the extended Battle of the Five Armies than what we saw in theaters last year, except for some black blood. Now we get to the chariot scene, okay? And Azog. So much what? So much.
Go ahead.
So much death. So much death. But Azog sends his troll beasties to go down to the frozen river and try to stop the chariot. And what we get is an action sequence which is fantastic. It's well executed. It's something that everyone would have loved. If it had been in the movie, everyone would have loved it. And there are spiky things coming out of the chariot wheels that chop off orcs' legs, and a bunch of trolls get their heads chopped off. And it's a little more bloody than we're used to seeing, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that big a deal.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think it's worth getting, no matter what anybody says, no matter what the rating is. It's still family appropriate. It's still something that you can put on the telly at the holidays, on Christmas Day.
Yes, it's still something you can put on the telly at the holidays.
And everyone can enjoy Battle of Five Armies. No kids are going to get scarred with this. It's just more. There was more death and destruction. I mean, in Return of the King with the elephants with the barbs on the thing, like the things that are in the Hobbit Battle of Five Armies are much less violent than Return of the King.
Well, take a look at that famous fight that Viggo Mortensen has, as Aragorn. Aragorn has a fight with Lurtz at the end of Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
Chops his arm off. No blood. No blood. But it was a really brutal piece of hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
It's a famous fight sequence.
Yeah.
And are you going to tell me that Fellowship of the Ring might have gotten an R if they'd added a little bit more blood? There's a lot. Most of the Lord of the Rings movies are bloodless in many of their battles. You did notice that. They really kind of are.
Yeah.
They kind of are. So it seems that the MPAA is just interested in bodily fluids, as the act of violence itself can be differentiated from okay to not okay, depending upon how much fake blood you pour into the frame. Whatever. I mean, The Shining, in that scene where the whole hotel gets flooded by all that bright red blood coming out of the whole hallway.
That was a rated
instant R rating. Instant R rating.
Yes.
Right? There you go. See? Whatever. And all it is just fake blood pouring through a hallway. See my point? You see how arbitrary and silly it seems? Anyways.
It's not going to stop people from buying the Blu-ray. In fact, how many people, like when they buy their DVDs or look on Netflix, do they look at the rating? I don't even look at the rating anymore.
I don't either.
Like,
I don't either.
Do we see? Well, some people do for different reasons. Like,
all right, here's the thing: when Ridley Scott directed Legend, with Tim Curry as Darkness, this great big demon guy, and Tom Cruise, a very young Tom Cruise, that movie came out. My little sisters were like 9 and 11 years old, and my dad called me on the phone from all the way across the country, and he's like, "I know you dig all these fantasy films. Is Legend appropriate to take my daughters, your sisters, to go and see?"
How do we get to Legend?
I'm just saying, this is the conversation.
Legend
was rated PG, but there's a
before there was PG-13.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Even the original Poltergeist.
So what does that
got a
have?
PG
How
rating.
did we get to Legend?
I'm going to finish my statement, and you'll know. If you stop interrupting me, you'll know what point I'm getting at. Let me get to it. There's a scene in Legend where, very brief, super brief, where some prisoner, some unidentified prisoner, is being tortured and having his legs chopped off on the dinner table in Darkness's lair.
Okay.
And it's in there, and my dad found that scene so objectionable, he got upset with me because I told him on the phone, "Oh, there's nothing in Legend that would bother. My sisters are smart. I know these girls. I grew up with them. I knew they could handle Legend. It's a lovely film about unicorns and fairies, and Tim Curry is kind of frightening in his makeup, but it's not that gory or that violent."
Yeah.
But my dad actually found something so brief and so insignificant, he thought it was objectionable enough.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm making is that it's all relative to different parents who have different relationships with their kids about what's cool as far as fantasy violence. But it's funny to me that Peter Jackson has gotten away with so much in 5-6 films, and now all of a sudden this Battle of the Five Armies gets an R. It just seems so silly.
It's
to
not
me.
going to stop people from buying it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Of course not.
Now that it's the holiday season, for the next few episodes, there's only 3 weeks to Christmas.
Yes.
We've put together a wonderful holiday Tolkien fan holiday gift guide. It's on the website now. So this month, every episode, we're going to go into all of the products, a lot of the products that are in the gift guide, and a lot of stuff that we've loved over the years, and we recommend for any Tolkien fan. There's a lot of stuff, as everybody gets a little older, maybe they get a better job, or to save up a little. You can go from the One Ring that you bought at Target that one time that is all gross and plasticky, and step up to other One Rings, and it's like. You can spend you can get the collector's edition of The Hobbit Battle of Five Armies with the statue, or you can just get the $30 one.
Yeah, the $30 one. Yeah.
So there's so much cool stuff that a Tolkien fan will. How many new books are there? I mean, there were 2 or 3 new books. Between Beowulf, Tolkien's Beowulf,
the
Legend
Saga of Kalervo.
Kalervo.
Yeah,
there's
that's a great
new reading.
There's some really great stuff that we have listed on our website. You just got to go to theonering.net, the main page, and just go 2 stories down.
And in
there's
fact,
our holiday gift guide. Great
in
stuff.
The chat room, Smaug the Dragon in the chat room says that his statue of Gandalf and Bilbo just arrived yesterday as part of the Hobbit 3D Blu-ray edition. And he says it's wonderful, the best of the 3 statues.
Yes.
That is high praise for a free DVD exclusive. It's not free.
No, it's not.
It's more expensive, and it's a Amazon exclusive, Amazon Prime exclusive, I believe. But we're gonna get into that in the upcoming weeks. This week we have some cool stuff from our friends at Badali Jewelry. Look at this.
Yes, we do have some beautiful replicas of the One Ring.
Look at this one. Oh, my backdrop just fell.
Oh, here you go.
No, you can bring it back.
There you go.
This is like, these are the one rings of power. I don't know if you can see the lettering here. Let me show. Let me bring around the lettering. But look at that. There's writing on the inside.
Hand forged, created very carefully and very skillfully, forged by Paul Badali at Badali Jewelry.
That's right.
So extraordinary, so beautiful. Let's take a closer look.
The interesting thing is, this is their starter edition right here. This
the Gollum Gold ring.
This is called Gollum Gold. It's right here. This one. That is $40, right? And it's just a regular metal dipped in gold. So it's still a gold ring. It's just dipped in metal. This one has a little bit more gold. This is when they talk about 14 karat versus 24 karat. This one comes with a mithril chain. This one comes with a gold chain. Look at that wonderful gold. But this one right here is one of their premium ones. This is the one ring of power, but it's solid white gold. And
Beautiful, isn't it?
You can see the lettering on the inside. This one is solid. It's solid gold. There's no metal inside other than pure gold. This is 14. I believe this is 14 karat white gold. It's pretty amazing. The quality of Badali Jewelry. They've been a big friend of ours, of the OneRing.net,
yes, they
all
have.
of these years. They actually made, you can bring it back.
Here you go.
They actually made the pins, the Oscar pins that Peter Jackson and the entire cast and crew wore on Oscar night. Mm-hmm. If you go back and
those beautiful pins they made.
You see
yeah,
the Oscar
those are
footage. If you go back to YouTube or wherever and find clips of Peter Jackson winning all these Oscars, you'll notice that almost everybody that goes up on stage is wearing a little lapel.
Yep. They're visible in every archive of the Oscar telecast, especially that wonderful night when Return of the King swept every category, 11 out of 11 Oscars. You can see all those people going up there with Badali pins.
On
all those
Oscars.
tuxedos. Gorgeous. Such a great night.
And
I'll never forget that.
And Badali made those exclusively for the cast and crew on Oscar night. I mean, these weren't gifts during production. They literally said, this is a good luck charm.
Now,
and boy, was it a good luck charm.
It's so cool. You were just talking about that, the Gollum ring that they have from Badali. Let's show you. They make ring replicas that are available in different sizes that you can wear as actual rings. But the Gollum one, which is 24 karat gold-plated bronze, and that's why it's much less expensive. Yeah. It's made to be a pendant only. It is not available in any other sizes. So you just can't say, oh, I need size 7 or size 9 on this ring, because it's not to be worn as a ring. It's a pendant, and it is produced from the same molds as the gold and silver rings, with the same engraving. On the outside of the ring, it's the first 2 lines of the ring verse, one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them. That's just on the outside, okay? On the inside, there's the other 2 lines that complete the verse. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. And it's only $39.95. And it comes in a really nice, 24-inch long gold-plated chain. And it's just so nice. It even comes with a burgundy drawstring pouch. I've lost mine.
It comes with the pouch?
Comes in a burgundy drawstring pouch.
I think we
love it.
I thought I had one over there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about the small one. The small one comes in the pouch, and the other one.
No, the one. This one is the Gollum one.
Okay.
Which is the least expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then and this one comes in its own protected box. Mm-hmm. But this one comes in a wonderful box. Let me see if I can find that pouch.
So cool to have, Badali as a longtime friends of the OneRing.net. If you're still trying to figure out what to get for you know, your Hobbit fan, your Lord of the Rings fan, who's in your family or one of your friends, and you're not quite sure what, you can't go wrong with the Gollum ring. It's only $40, and it's handmade, beautifully handcrafted.
And these aren't movie licenses, but Dolly Jewelry is working direct with the Tolkien estate.
Yes.
Not Tolkien Enterprises even, which you just explained the difference between Tolkien Enterprises and Tolkien estate. But Dolly is working with the Tolkien family themselves. The Tolkien family approves everything that Badali makes. So
that's just, yes,
like,
they do.
this is as close to the source as you could possibly get.
Skype is on if anybody wants to Skype into the show and talk with us.
Absolutely.
By the way, we're always glad to have you here.
You can always call and text us on the hotline 530-64-FRODO. Look.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
There's our that's our website. Keep going.
That's too funny. You know, in honor of Peter Jackson about to do a Doctor Who episode, we got our friend the Dalek here to help us.
Dalek.
The Dalek. We
That's-
got our friend
that's
the
what I
Dalek
learned
to
today.
help us
It's a Dalek.
bring the Doctor Who mood. Isn't this cool? I love this guy. Exterminate.
Aravandi in the chat room
Exterminate.
says, my mom was teasing me earlier today because she knows what my aunt is getting me for Christmas and she won't tell me what it is. All I know is that it's Hobbit related.
Exterminate.
Let's see. Is that where exterminate comes from? I've never...
No, but
really?
it's well used by the Daleks. But you know,
Are those the things that say exterminate?
that's what they say in Doctor Who. Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
Exterminate. So funny.
You know, I still don't know anyone that's watched any of the Hobbit movies on 3D Blu-ray. I don't know anyone with a 3D Blu-ray, and I don't know anyone with a 3D TV to watch a 3D Blu-ray on.
I do.
Except this guy over here in the corner that's helping us.
Now I know two people. I know my friend.
Well, I guess we're having a 3D viewing at your place.
My friend Shay. My friend Shay is like, bring over that I still have your copy of An Unexpected Journey 3D, the Blu-ray. I have that.
That's where it went.
I have it. Yes, because I took it to Shay's place to watch it in 3D.
This guy.
And now, what I've never seen is I've never seen the extended versions of The Hobbit in 3Ds. So I'll have to get to that later at some point in time.
Wait, the copy you have of mine, that's the standard edition?
I have the 3D Blu-ray of An Unexpected Journey.
Not extended.
Not extended, no.
We've
never gotten our hands on extended. It's
Why
hard
did
to
I-
find those copies, the 3D extended, unless, well, now conveniently, you can buy the mega boxed set. But I'll have to upgrade to that when I upgrade my home theater system.
Why
at
did
some
I
time.
even buy a 3D DVD?
The technology looks great. The 3D Blu-ray at home will blow your mind. The technology is getting better and better and better. But then again, we have to figure out when they're going to do 4K, ultra high def 3D. When is that technology coming around next? That's what I want to know. Before we finish some of our thoughts, and before we finish our thoughts on the added scenes, what do you think is the single best?
What's on the hotline? 530-64-FRODO.
Yeah.
Call us.
Call us,
text
send us a message, and say hello to us. What do you think is the single best added scene to the extended version of BOTFA?
I don't know. We'll
know
talk
my
about
favorite-
it on a future episode where we go through all the
best stuff?
the best stuff.
Okay, I'll give you a little teaser.
Because I really need to prepare like everything
Yeah.
right with the Battle of Five Armies.
there's a lot.
There's a lot that can be wrong, but there's a lot that
That's
can
another
be
episode.
right. There's a lot that can be right.
Alfred Lickspittle is wrong.
So, we
Alfred
just
character
got
is
a
wrong.
text message saying that they're saving up to buy Minas Tirith for $600. Is that a Weta collectible or a Sideshow?
I'm not sure.
A Minas Tirith collectible? God,
I wonder how big it's going to be.
That's got to be like
Oh, wow. You mean it's going to be like, wow. okay.
$600?
That's going to be impressive.
It's got to be big
Let me
for
do
that
a quick
price.
Let me do a quick search for
Tina Bomber in the chat room, Tina Bomber 77 says, I've seen worse PG-13 movies than Battle of Five Armies. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, how about Poltergeist? I mean, there was a controversy even with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which got a PG. There was controversy
Before there was
a PG-13. The first film released in America that got a PG-13 rating was Red Dawn, the very first one. I think it was 1984 or 85.
Okay.
But when Poltergeist came out, it scared the living bejesus out of me and everybody. And a lot of people were saying, shouldn't this be an R? Because of the intensity, you know, the guy pulling his face off in the mirror and all that stuff. And I don't know, I mean, tastes may change over time, but nowadays, if Poltergeist were released, it would not get a simple PG. It would not.
Of course not.
It would not. Go even further back in time. Star Trek, the motion picture, was rated G. The first one. Directed by Robert Wise, the great legendary director Robert Wise.
The reboot.
Yeah.
After 20 years of insignificance, that was the Star Trek reboot. And it was a
Star
risk.
Trek reboot. And that, you know, V'ger, that beautiful Greek actress who plays Ilia, has a shaved head,
Yep.
and she ends up becoming merged with Voyager. V'ger. Such a cool bit of science fiction stuff. I love that stuff. You don't like it? You don't like that original?
I don't like Star Trek.
See, then you're the wrong fanboy to be talking to. Fellowship of the Ring was a PG. Nope. Fellowship.
Everything was PG-13.
Every release of every Middle-earth film from Peter Jackson was rated PG-13
up
in
until
America.
Up until
in
this
America.
DVD.
Now, some of our friends in England have a different ratings certificate. I don't know the system at all well. Maybe if we're lucky.
Lurt's licking the bloody dagger. That was only in the extended edition, wasn't it?
Nope, it's in the theatrical.
I don't remember him licking
It's in the
the
theatrical.
blood.
He licks it. You know what? It's all there. It's all.
Really?
Let's see if one of our friends, maybe Emily, if Emily, Stargate Geek, happens to be watching our live show, maybe she can come on to Skype and tell us what.
Call us on the
what
hotline,
is- yeah.
530-64-FRODO.
Any fans from the UK, if you're awake right now? Yeah, we've
Look
got,
at this. That's our phone number.
there it is. So, 530, number 6, number 4, FRODO.
Which is like 3878.
You're about to
or
lose that
something.
ring, Frodo. You're about to lose your ring.
Right?
The rating body keep chaining that it should be rated what age all the time, so I don't really take ratings literally. Right, okay. I still can't watch Lurtz lick the bloody dagger. It makes me gag. Other than that, I can watch all of Fellowship of the Ring. Ha ha ha. Interesting. Ah, yes. Hey, Tina Bomar
I like
says...
this chat room.
Yeah, the chat room is very active. I'm looking at all this amazing conversation. Yes,
Well,
Tina Bomar says, I've seen worse PG-13 movies than Battle of the Five Armies.
I just said that.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
While we're waiting
Thank
for
you.
someone in chat room, look,
Come on and join us on Skype. We're on.
I don't know what these rings are, but check out these other pieces from Badali jewelry right here. Now, Cliff, can you tell me what this blue stone is?
Oh, these are the 3 rings for the Elven Kings under the sky.
Is that for the Elven King? Is this white one, or is that a...
That is the Badali version of Nenya.
This is.
Galadriel's ring, the ring of adamant.
This is.
That's correct.
This
It's called Nenya.
Nenya is what we see in Battle of the Five Armies Extended Edition, isn't it?
Yes, but what you see in the movie is a completely different design that was
Okay.
made by Weta. This is the one that's designed by Badali. It has beech leaves and a beautiful adamant, a cubic zirconia.
Yeah.
The one here is really different from the way Galadriel's ring is designed in the movies, but is no less beautiful. It's really gorgeous. And it's available in like 14 karat gold or sterling silver. If you have certain metal allergies, you can talk to the folks at Badali Jewelry and they'll make a ring for you that won't cause an allergic reaction. And this one here in the middle is the Ring of Fire. This is Narya. Narya is the Ring of Fire carried by Gandalf. This one here on the far end is Vilya. Vilya with the sapphire stone, and it is carried by Elrond, the Lord of Rivendell. Good stuff, huh? Take a look at these beauties. Look at these beauties. Gorgeousness. Isn't it lovely? Whoa, sparkly.
Sparkly.
Mrs. Brisby, you've got
So
sparkly.
are they supposed to be...
I've always wanted a
in a set of
sparkly of
3?
my very own.
So when at the beginning of Lord of the Rings, when she says 9 were given to the men, 7 to the dwarves,
Yep,
3 to the elves,
yep.
and 1 ring of power.
Wisest, immortal. Yes.
So what the red one? Who got the red one?
Gandalf. Originally, it was given to Círdan. Círdan the shipwright, who builds the ships at the Grey Havens. And that was the ring that Círdan, the elf lord, had. And when Gandalf showed up at the shores of Middle-earth for the very first time, Círdan recognized him and saw through his old man disguise. And he said, here, I'm going to give you this ring of fire. Use it to instill fire and courage into the hearts of people as they fight against the enemy.
Look, that sounds very Zelda-ish. So you're telling me this ring, here, take this, you'll need this on your quest. That's straight out of Zelda.
Yep, kind of.
So is this the ring?
Where do you think those game designers get their ideas from? They rip off Tolkien all the time.
Is this, so this red one, this ring is basically an officially approved license from the Tolkien estate, which would explain why it looks different from the one Gandalf is wearing. Isn't Gandalf wearing a red ring in Battle of Five Armies?
The red ring? Yeah. No, we never see Gandalf's ring of fire.
In the extended edition, yes, we do.
I was going to say we don't see Gandalf's ring of fire until the end of the Return of the King when he's at the Grey Havens and he's leaving. And suddenly it is
Battle
just
of
there.
Five Armies.
Now, in the Battle of the Five Armies extended edition, it's the only other time besides the end sequence at the Grey Havens where Gandalf physically shows this ring manifest on his.
And do we see so we see Gandalf's red ring, like, because in the extended edition, that nasty orc says, "My master wants your ring."
Yeah.
And so he puts his hand on the chopping block, like he's ready to lose his fingers. Gandalf almost loses his fingers in the extended edition because of that red ring. So the rings play a very, very important part. Why the heck would they cut that out of the theatrical edition? It's called Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Why did they cut
100%.
all the rings out of the Hobbit theatrical?
I have no idea. And
can you take an educated guess?
I can take an educated guess, but it's just wild speculation.
Go ahead.
The reason why it was taken out is probably because Peter wanted to have something that the fans, the hardcore fans, would much prefer to have in the extended edition, which is, you have to accept this as truth. I posit this theory. The extended editions are not made for casual movie watchers. They're made for hardcore fans. I think he wanted to add more details that we would appreciate.
The three rings are very casual. It's related to the Lord of the Rings. Everybody in the world knows that there's rings. Why? It makes no sense that it would be fan service to keep the rings out of the theatrical version. What a waste of money in the theater. That's what I feel like. I feel like, before, people always say like, oh, they're nickel and diming us because they want us to buy the DVDs. I'm like, no, I feel like we got chimped on the theatrical version.
We did, in a way. I really do think we did, in a way. Well, hello, Emily. Hi there. How are you?
We got a Skype call.
We actually have a Skype caller. Now, we need to make sure that you can be heard.
That's right, so...
All right.
Hold it up.
Hello. Now, I'm going to hold this tablet in a funny way, okay? Just so that we can hear you.
You're as close to his heart as you've ever been.
Right. Now, we're going to have the speaker close to the microphone, right? Now, tell us, my dear, what do you know...
How does it feel to be this close to Cliff's heart?
Oh, how lovely.
Well, I am one of the few people that was trusted with his address.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. So sweet. Now, what can you tell us about
Speaking of that, I sent you and Justin's Christmas cards and presents today.
Oh, you didn't have to do that, Emily. That's very sweet.
Thank you. Thank you. And you can, if other people want to, you can send it to Meltdown Comics, 7522 Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, California. We weren't expecting that. We never expect anything from our viewers, so it's wonderful that you're thinking about us.
I can't. I've sent you stuff for the past few years. I can't just not send stuff.
Oh, that's super, super sweet.
You're amazing.
You are amazing, and hashtag grateful, okay? I just have to tell you hashtag grateful. You're so sweet. Now, let's learn a little bit of detail about the difference between American movie ratings and the United Kingdom rating certificates.
Yes.
How did all of Lord of the Rings movies and all Hobbit movies appear, and what were they rated?
Right.
Starting with the regular theatrical editions. Is it called a 12?
Right.
Is it called a 12 rating?
The PG-13 is a 12 in the UK, yes.
It's called a 12, which means parents, if your child is 12 or younger, it might be too much for them, right?
Yes.
We also have in the cinemas we have what is called a 12A, which means 12 adult, which means if you are below the age of 12, you need an adult to accompany you.
Okay, all right, a 12A. And what's the next rating up that's harder than a 12A? Or
15 is
15.
after 12.
Okay.
Then 18.
Oh, so you have a 12, a 12A, then you have a 15, and then you have an 18, which is the equivalent of a rated R,
Well,
right?
12A is just for the cinema.
Oh,
Then,
okay.
and which is 12 rated films for the cinema is 12A,
Okay.
and then and then it goes 15, and then 18.
What are some
and then
what are some
you've
recent
also, and then
examples?
You've
Hold on, yeah, and
got the
what's
R-rated stuff, which is you sort of, well,
what's after 15?
people really don't want to see most of the time.
So when in America they used to have adult really pornographic films used to be rated X, but theatrically the MPAA invented NC-17, which means no children, NC, no children under the age of 17, and that was applied to, a romantic drama, Henry and June, because it had a lot of, explicit sexual scenes. I read it was the very first movie in America that got an NC-17.
How do you know this?
Because it stars
here
Ray
are my
Fine, and
Lord-
it's called
here
Henry
are
and
my,
June.
Lord of the Rings box set.
Okay, nice. Lord of the Rings box set there. All right, and what rating
And-
does it have? All 12?
Right, they are. A box set is rated 12,
Yeah. Okay, there it is. Okay, nice.
and so the individual films were The Fellowship PG, and then Two Towers and Return of the King of 12.
Show us the 12 again.
Yeah,
show
please
us
do.
that rating again.
Because we've just switched to camera, so we can actually include and visually show what you have there.
All right, this is the Fellowship Return of the King DVD or Blu-ray.
This is just the standard DVD.
And
box
what's
set.
the rating? Where's the rating?
Okay, special extended edition DVD, and it got rated 12.
12.
I mean, that's pretty much the equivalent of a PG-13, kind of.
Yes.
But
that's
you guys call it a PG-12. We got a year up on you. 1 year up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
For the Two Towers,
Okay, very nice.
and and then
Fellowship.
PG for
Oh, so that's different. PG is different from 12.
PG is parental guidance. It's before 12.
Oh, so they changed the system.
We have you've got, for certain TV shows, you have no rating needed.
Okay.
Then you've got Universal, which is anybody can watch.
G. We have G for general audiences, and you call it U for
Then-
universal.
yeah.
Okay.
Then it's PG, then it's 12, or in the cinemas 12A.
Uh-huh.
Then you've got 15, then 18, and then you've got R for porn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What rating did Battle of the Five Armies Extended Edition get in the United Kingdom? Is it different from any of the
Not
others?
sure, because I don't get paid till Thursday.
See? Well, I guess I could just go to Amazon UK and look it up, and I could see,
Yes.
real quick.
But I presume it's probably a 15.
Yeah, it might be a 15, and that would be the difference.
So, before we let you go, what's your dream gift this holiday Christmas? What's your dream Tolkien gift?
Yeah, what's your dream Christmas gift that someone would get for you? A Tolkien gift.
Tolkien gift.
Yeah, I know what I
I
want.
haven't asked anyone for it because, well, the one, because I asked my parents for an e
That would be cool. That would be really cool. Full-size sword replica. That would be great. I think we just had an audio microphone problem that just blew up in the control room. But that's very exciting. We just had some very exciting things happen here.
a Christmas present. Well, I've asked for the special edition CD, but I've got Tom and Bert trolls, and I just need William.
Oh, yes, to complete the set of the trolls. Haha, awesome. That's awesome. Well, hopefully Santa Claus will be generous this year. All right. Thank you so much, Emily, for coming in to the show for a quick phone call. We really appreciate that. Okay, I think we might need to take a second to reset some of our microphones. We'll be
Oh, you're 10 minutes lag behind on the video to where we are.
Yeah,
so
that's right. There's a 10 to 20 minute lag, I'm afraid. Yes.
And sometimes we're really on it with the chat room, and sometimes we're like 5 minutes delayed, and sometimes we're 10 minutes delayed.
I've never seen it quite like it's a bit odd, but you know,
It's been like this a couple times, hasn't it, Emily?
Not in quite a while, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Does from time to time.
all right.
All right, we'll check that out. Thanks for
will.
thanks for chatting with us today, Emily.
Thank you so kindly, Stargate Geek. We'll be talking to you probably next week.
Yep.
Okay, sweet dreams and good luck.
Very good.
Bye. All right.
Again, you
I love Skype.
can Skype us at the One Ring Net. The name.
Hey there, everybody out there in the internet land. Welcome back again to another exciting installment of ShopXSN.com. This is your shopping network. You can watch us live every night of the week, every night of the month, all the way through December. We're going to bring you some exciting deals and some really cool artists who are bringing original, exclusive art pieces in a variety of different media. In the coming weeks, we're going to have comic book artists, we'll have painters and illustrators. Tonight, it is my great pleasure to introduce a very good friend of mine, and actually my neighbor of 16 years. Actually, yes, do you believe that?
I did not know that.
We've been next door neighbors up on Vista Street for a very, very long time. It is so lovely to have you here. Saw Winfield, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Hi there. Lovely to see you. It's great to see you.
Great to be here.
This is exciting for me because it's the first time I get to proudly show off one of my favorite artists and their lovely, lovely work. Now, we've been doing Shop XSN for quite some time to show books and collectible toys and great graphic novels, but now we get something so tactile, beautiful, handmade, handcrafted ceramics. And I'm telling you, Sa, you blow me away. Every time. She's won Best in Show at the LA County Fair, right? Right, and you've won numerous. Tell me something about your Deep Water Designs. That's the name of your outfit, Deep Water Designs.
Well, the name basically comes from that I'm a mermaid.
Yes.
So you can't see my tail from
I
here.
can't see your tail.
So,
in love with all things mermaidish.
I sort of use the title to encompass anything that I make. Mm-hmm. So I thought of ceramics. So that might
funny.
even be my Etsy page. I'm not sure where it is.
That's hilarious. That's so cute.
I took my first ceramics class just a block around the corner there.
Really?
When I was 11 years old.
Well, you're Angelino, born and bred, the real deal. You say that people don't actually come from Los Angeles? It's not true.
It's true.
Beautiful, homegrown people come from LA. And you're the best example. So you started your infatuation with pottery and ceramics at a very early age.
My mom sent me to ceramics class when I was 11 because it was right behind my elementary school, Gardner Street Elementary School.
Yeah, where Michael Jackson went to school.
And I went to school with Michael Jackson.
You did?
By the way.
You did? Okay.
He went there for 2 weeks.
Only 2 weeks? He was enrolled in that school for 2 weeks, and it's been the public claim to fame for all these years since then.
And all the girls chased him into the bathroom. And that was like a big deal.
That's funny.
So I went to Gardner Street Elementary school, and there was a little teeny homespun, just this single gal who had a shop, and she also gave lessons. And my mom said, "Let's enroll the girl in ceramics, because why not?" And I made some cute things, and I still have them. And then when I went to Hollywood High, they had an incredible ceramics department.
Yes.
And I took ceramics for all my art elective was always ceramics for the 10th, 11th, 12th grade. And then I got my own wheel. I got my own kiln. I set it up outside at my house. I had a kick wheel, which was ridiculous.
That's cool.
I would get covered in clay. It was crazy.
That's super cool. But now at your house, you have designed and actually have a whole studio. I've been there many times. You have a huge kiln. You're not messing around.
I have 2 kilns now.
2 kilns. Now, what kind of temperatures do these things get to, like maximum? Crazy.
These all get to 2195.
2,195 degrees.
Yes, that is a cone 5 for anyone who's interested in knowing what that is. The cone is the indication of the temperature, and it goes from 0, 1 to 0, 10 to 1 to I think as high as 12. I've never gone higher than 10, but it's all considered high fire, even at cone 5.
Yeah.
Which sounds midway, but it isn't.
I'm so enamored with this. This is so cool because you've put together your skill and your love for fantasy elements and Celtic elements, and this is what we're going to show you guys tonight on ShopXSN.com. The first place where you want to go and look for Saw Winfield and Deep Water Designs is go to her Facebook page. okay, which is a lovely space. And right there, you click like, go to Deep Water Designs, looks just like that. And then any of these beautiful pieces that you're looking at here tonight, you can send a message to Sa and say, hey, I saw you on Shop XSN. Let me get my hands on some of these beauties right here. Shall we begin?
That'll do it.
Shall we begin?
Yes.
Let's take a look at what we have here. There's a style of how you do these vases incorporate.
You can pick it up.
I know,
I trust you.
it's so heavy. This is the real deal. It's so heavy. Let's take a look and we'll put it right down here in the front. Okay. Tell me about the technique of putting something like this together.
These are 2 thrown pieces, meaning on the wheel. So I throw one piece that's the bottom, the nice round piece, but I don't seal it up, obviously. And then I throw the neck separately. I have to let those dry a bit before I can attach them to each other. And so I want to have the foot. So I have to wait for this to be dry enough to trim that before I can even attach this part. So that gets attached by a process known as slipping and scoring. And then I do the vines, and they sort of have to, they have a mind of their own. So I have to build sort of a support of dry cleaner bags, if you will, because they're very lightweight and you can pull them out when the piece is dry. And I just sort of support the vines and start to build it. And I can't mess with it too much because I could knock it out of shape and it would mess it up. So I have to just decide, okay, that looks okay, and let it dry. And then when it gets to the point that it's dry enough, and you can
Let's take a look at this. Yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's a great shot. Thank you, Omar. Look at that. Beautiful. These blendings of colors, so beautiful. How do you do this to get these colors blended like this? How do you do this?
It's magic, I tell you, it's magic.
It is magic. I'm going to put this one side by side.
This is just, it's the two, these 2 guys are similar. Some of my favorite glaze combinations. I don't like one color on anything. It kind of, I don't know. I like to have some variation.
Yes.
So basically these are just different glazes that look nice together, in my opinion. And then there's the handle. How does she make it look like wood?
Yeah, it does. Now, for those of you watching, you'd be impressed if you had this physically in your hand. Like I said, this is so tactile. These handles are not glazed in the same way, and they're hard and rough. There's a certain texture to them that's completely different than the smooth surface. How did you do that?
There's no glaze on the clay, so these are made of porcelain.
Yeah.
Just so you know. And the process is I use what they call, it's iron. It's a liquid iron.
Oh.
That you.
Whoa. Okay.
Once the piece is, you fire everything twice. So you have your first firing where there's no glaze on anything at all. That's your crucial. If things don't make it through there, they're pretty much not going to make it.
Right.
So once that's done, then I apply these glazes, and I use an airbrush for most of them. It's just my preferred method of delivery to glaze.
Right on.
And then I have to just basically wash off any of the glaze that gets on this part, and then I give it a rub with the iron, and then I have to wipe it down.
Wow,
and it's very, it's a little meticulous in getting it cleaned up enough so you got a nice clean edge. But I really love the results.
I do too. This is extraordinary. I love it. Now, how long would it take to make, for example, this piece right here? How much time?
The answer to that question is a lifetime.
Really? It takes forever to get one of these made?
Well, no, but to get to the point where you can make it, it does.
That's true. To get this level of,
know,
no, this is multiple techniques of color, crafting, and finishing.
Yes.
These are expertly designed.